Ladies and gentlemen, dreamers, visionaries, and the quietly relentless, welcome to the void, where echoes become battles and shadows consume empires. Tonight, I'm not here to teach you how to win. Winning is predictable, but no. I'm here to show you how to ascend, to rise beyond this mundane existence, and step into a dimension where your silence speaks louder than applause, and your subtle moves ripple through the cosmos. The loud ones, those who crave the spotlight and scream for validation, they burn like fireworks, dazzling, fleeting, and forgotten. But you, the silent force, are something far greater. You're not a fleeting spark, you're a gravitational pull, a black hole that commands and consumes. Your power lies not in noise, but in purpose. Your quiet dismantles their chaos. This realm I speak of, it's not found on a map. It's not a destination you reach by foot. It's a state of being, a transformation, where the rules of their world no longer bind you. Here, you don't announce intentions or beg for recognition. You don't make noise. You create impact. You don't demand respect. You command it. Because when you move in silence, unseen and unknowable, you become their greatest fear. And fear, my friends, is the most devastating weapon. Picture this. You're in a game of chess. Your opponent chatters, announcing every move, while you sit silent, calm and unreadable. They unravel, overthinking every possibility, and in their panic they lose, not because you outplayed them, but because your silence outmatched them. Silent moves lead to shattering outcomes. But this isn't just about winning games. Silence is about creating a storm so fierce, so consuming, that when it erupts, it doesn't just demand attention, but they don't see the volcanic pressure building beneath the surface. They don't understand that silence isn't absence. It's the harbinger of destruction. To walk this path, to enter this dimension, you must abandon your need for recognition. Forget applause, forget approval, forget explaining yourself to those too blind to see. Let your actions scream louder than their words ever could. And when they finally notice, it won't be with admiration, it will be with terror. So, I ask you, are you ready? Are you prepared to be underestimated, mocked, and dismissed while you silently construct an empire? Are you strong enough to endure the whispers, the loneliness, the doubt? This journey isn't for the faint-hearted. It's for the relentless. It's for those who can smile through rejection, knowing their time is near. And when your moment comes, the world won't just watch, they'll kneel. The truth about this other dimension is deeper than power or revenge. It's about becoming something they can't define, predict, or destroy. It's about transforming into a force of nature, a shadow that commands armies, a silence that deafens the world. In this realm, the noise of the world becomes irrelevant. The chatter, the criticism, the shallow pursuit of validation, they all dissolve into nothingness. You detach yourself from their petty games. You become a ghost, untouchable and terrifying. But this silence will test you. It will suffocate, weigh heavy on your chest, and make you question everything. The world will mock your invisibility, call you insignificant. They will tempt you to defend yourself, to shout your worth. Resist. Every time you hold back, every time you let them believe they've won, you grow sharper, stronger, more dangerous. You're not a nobody. You're the storm on the horizon, unseen yet inevitable. And when you emerge, you won't be the person they ignored. You'll be the force they never saw coming. Their mockery will crumble under the weight of your empire. Because while they made noise, you made history. Let them laugh. Let them dismiss your silence as weakness. They don't know you're scripting your legacy in the shadows, crafting your dominion in the quiet. They don't realize that when you finally move, the world... And one last thing before I fade back into the silence. This path isn't for everyone. It's not for the fragile, the approval seekers, the ones who live for the spotlight. It's for the wolves, the lone hunters, who don't need to announce their presence. The silence will challenge you, suffocate you, and test your limits. But if you endure, you'll find freedom so intoxicating, so absolute, that you'll never again be bound by their world. When they finally see you, standing atop the ruins of their ignorance, they'll scramble to understand how you moved so quietly, so invisibly, yet left such devastation in your wake. And you'll smile, not in arrogance, but in knowing. Knowing that while they played their shallow games, you transcended. Because you weren't just silent, you were patient. You weren't just invisible, you were unstoppable. But don't think for a second that the journey ends here. No, this is only the beginning. Because once you've mastered the art of silence, once you've risen from the shadows and carved your name into the fabric of existence, the game changes entirely. You're no longer playing for recognition or revenge. You're playing to reshape the world itself. In this new reality, you don't follow their rules. You rewrite them. You're not part of their system. You dismantle it. You've become the unseen architect, the quiet creator of a future they can't even comprehend. While they remain chained to their superficial desires, you stand unshackled, free, powerful, and untouchable. And here's the part that will haunt them the most. Your silence will echo louder than their screams. Every step you take will ripple through their lives like an earthquake they didn't see coming. Every action, calculated and precise, will leave them questioning their very existence. While they bicker over petty victories, you will have built something eternal, something unshakable. Imagine it. They'll gather in their noisy little circles trying to decipher how you rose so high without ever announcing your climb. They'll tear apart their own egos, looking for flaws in a system you've already outgrown. They'll wonder how they missed the storm brewing in the distance. And when it finally hits, they'll have no shelter. But remember this, the silence you carry is not just a weapon. It's your essence. It's what makes you unbreakable. They can take their applause, their fleeting fame, their hollow titles. You don't need them. You've transcended beyond their reach, beyond their understanding. And when you finally speak, not with words, but with actions, the world won't just hear you, it will tremble. Because your silence was never weakness. It was never submission. It was power building, pressure rising, an empire forming brick by brick in the dark. So, let them watch. Let them wonder. Let them fear. You are no longer the person they overlooked. You are the force they underestimated. And now, you're the one they'll never forget. Let's take this even further. Silence is not just a tool or a tactic. It's your rebirth. It's the moment you shed the skin of their expectations and become untouchable. It's where you evolve into something they can neither predict nor contain. You don't just escape their noise, you ascend above it, leaving them drowning in their chaos while you rise untouched, unmatched, and unstoppable. You see, they'll try to label you. They'll call you cold, ruthless, detached. But those words, they're their fears speaking, their desperation to understand what they cannot control. Let them talk. Let their whispers circle like vultures. They're only circling a battlefield you've already won. While they're obsessed with opinions, you're building something indestructible, a legacy carved into time itself. Every move you make in silence, every choice they don't see coming, is a crack in their foundation. They'll stumble, confused, desperate to grasp the magnitude of your impact. And when they realize the truth, that you've already rewritten the game, it'll be too late. You'll have left your mark so deep that even their noise won't drown it out. But here's the secret they'll never grasp. Silence isn't just about destroying, it's about creating. In your quiet rebellion, you're crafting something more profound than victory. You're shaping a world where your presence changes everything, a world that bends and shifts in response to your unseen power. Picture this. The moment you finally step into the light, not seeking their approval but claiming what was always yours, their world will stop. time will pause as the weight of your silence crashes down like a tidal wave, sweeping away their doubts, their judgments, their ignorance, and all that remains will be your undeniable truth. But this path isn't for the faint-hearted, no. It's for those willing to endure the loneliness of greatness, to walk alone in the shadows, knowing the light will one day find them. It's for the ones who can turn pain into power, rejection into resilience, and doubt into dominance. So, as you stand here on the edge of their comprehension, poised to break every rule they hold dear, ask yourself, are you ready to become the force they never saw coming? The silence that deafens, the shadow that commands, the presence they'll never escape. Because the world won't just remember you, they'll never recover from you. This is your moment, your silence, your reign. And when the dust settles, they won't just see what you've done, they'll feel it.